Everyone. There's I just started reading these. I was talking a bit about uh, mangas yesterday and how people around them never get suspicious. Well, I just started reading a new one, and it's actually pretty funny. Uh, they kind of do it like One Punch Man, so it's kind of like this. It's kind of got this comical type style to it. They have the really serious drawing style, and then they have the really comical type style. I just started reading it. I've gotten to chapter 19. I started reading it last night. Bad idea because I had to leave early this morning, as you can tell from I did some makeup. This is about as much makeup as I ever do. Very rare occasions I'll actually do lipstick, but I never use foundation or anything like that just because it actually makes my face break out a lot more. And I'm not good at makeup anyway, so I'm a terrible girl. Um, so yeah, it's called A Villainess for the Tyrant. Um, what they call it on Kun manga is villain. A villain is a good match for a tyrant, but the actual title that I looked it up by was A Villainess for the Tyrant. Um, and it's kind of like One Punch Man, where they have this really goofy comical style that's just kind of these really weird drawings that kind of looks like a 9-year old got a hold of it. And then they have the really serious drawings when things kind of get serious. Although sometimes they'll break the ice and do a back and forth type deal where it's serious 1 second, comical, then serious. Um, I am absolutely enjoying it because it's really hilarious because the saintess in this so-called story is the writer of the story who transmigrated into that world, and unfortunately she got transferred into the saintess, and she was like, why didn't I get put into Cecile and into Princess Cecile to be with her perfect man, a mean personality, good looks, hot body, virgin. And so she gets really ticked off. So now she's trying to destroy everything and realizing little by little that the story's not exactly what she thought it was. Um, the villainess is only acting that way because she was told to. It was the only way that she could survive as the empress. Um, so the man that she married told her that if you want to live, and the only reason I'm telling you this is because I'm slightly interested in you, if you want to live, you need to act worse than me. Basically, she has to one up the emperor, who is known as a bloodthirsty tyrant. So she has to literally wrap him around her finger to make it seem like she's worse than him. And, all this comedy unfolds and romance. I haven't seen them focus a lot on romance, but they're definitely hinting that each of them are falling for each other. Although Cecile seems more pissed than anything that she got sold off, and she got the reason that the king, her father, the king, gave her was because the emperor wanted an heir. And then she realizes that he does not want an heir and he doesn't plan to have any children either. So she's just she she's really she's really pissed. Um, and that was around the first time that she actually started acting like a villainess without anyone telling her to. So I'm really loving this story. Just I'm finding, excuse me. I went for a really long walk because I had to avoid the apartment today because the landlord was doing an inspection, walking someone through who might buy the property. So we all may get kicked out. Yay! With nowhere to go. Um, and because there's only supposed to be two people living in this apartment, my mom and her husband, I had to leave. Um, so I packed up what I could and went to McDonald's. Unfortunately, McDonald's does not have their dine-in area open, just the drive-through, so I didn't get to eat anything for breakfast or lunch now, um, and didn't have anything to drink either. So that sucks. I could have just walked further and gone to Papa John's, but unfortunately, Papa John's does not have open Wi Fi. So I kind of had to stick around McDonald's and wait for a message that it was okay to come back. Luckily, I was only gone for 45, 50 minutes and then came back. So it was basically the walk there, 10 minutes, and then walk back. So it wasn't that bad, but my leg's still screwed up from the last time I did a walk. But at least this time it wasn't as bad because I wasn't rushing myself. I've noticed that when I started walking, yes, yesterday or the day before, when I went to go and get my vape juice, I was rushing it because I'm so used to getting stopped, um, from just random people on the road being like, "Hey, you need a ride?" Or "Hey, babe, how you doing? Can I get your number?" You know, normal cat collar crap. Um, I'm not used to that. I'm not used to getting catcalled at all. Uh, but it happened a lot in Washington. I guess in Washington state, they really enjoy fluffy people because I could not go 5 minutes down the road without someone hitting on me, which was ridiculous. I don't find myself attractive at all. I don't think I'm very pretty. I know I'm overweight. I really don't care. Uh, I am going on walks more often and exercising more often just to get a little healthier, but I don't really necessarily care that I'm overweight. Uh, I don't find any fault with it. The only thing I don't like about gaining weight is that my cheeks poof out. Um, so yeah. Uh, so yeah, the first time I went for a walk here, someone stopped and uh, asked if I needed a ride or if I was okay, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. No, I don't need a ride. Thank you for the offer, though," and just kept walking. Um, I started getting really paranoid that that was going to start happening again, and then I remembered I live in Florida. No one cares. Um, and it's kind of like written all over my face that I'm not really looking for anybody in particular because I just don't care anymore. I've been in two really abusive relationships. I've only ever been in three relationships in my life, and the first one was the best, and I threw that away because long distance, and then the other two were just crap. So it's more of this kind of I'm done type deal. If it happens, it happens. If not, screw it. Um, I'm not intentionally looking for anybody, but it would be nice to have someone to talk to, someone else to hang out with. Uh, but I'm not a really open person and I don't like people around me 24/7. I'd much rather just be by myself. Uh, it actually takes a lot out of me just to live with my mom and her husband because I'm not used to people. But at least with them, I get my own personal space and they don't intrude. So I guess that's an upside. Uh, so yeah, I ended up rushing myself because I was like, I gotta get this done, gotta get this done, gotta get this done. So I ended up walking really fast and stressed out my leg. And when I went for a walk this time, I was like, take it slow. Don't walk with the music, just listen. Take your time. Because if you push, you're going to dehydrate and you've got no way to get any water. Um, the drive throughs here in Florida do not allow you to walk through the drive through. I really hate that. Uh, there's a couple McDonald's in South Carolina and in Washington where you can literally walk through the drive through to get your food. Uh, you don't have to have a car. And that's mainly because they're just pretty much laid back and you just walk up to the window and, hey, I need food. But unfortunately, there was too much traffic going through there, so I wasn't even going to try to attempt that. So I just kind of sat outside and vaped and then got the message to come back. And I was like, sweet. I was like, I'm so hungry right now. I gotta say, I am kind of disappointed though, because I was really looking forward to a Big Mac, but fine. I would have been fine with a quarter pounder too. But I'm glad that they didn't have the dining area open, but at the same time disappointed because I'm glad because I have enough money saved up right now that I'm somewhat in a sweet spot. So I'm thankful for that part, but really upset that I just couldn't get something to eat. I could have stopped at Circle K and gotten something there, but at that point, it was like I'm 2 minutes from the house. There's really no point in wasting my money on that. Although I do want to try those little chicken things that they have up there. Uh, so the Saintess is a transmigrator. Uh, she is brought into her own book as the Saintess instead of the villainess, who is the main character. So she doesn't get to be with the main protagonist, um, which is really ticking her off. And the main story follows Cecile and the Emperor. I forget what his name is, but it mainly follows those two. But it cuts every now and then to where the Saintess is trying to uh, interfere because she wants her perfect man. She wrote the book a certain way and she is now complaining but also really happy all at the same time. She's pissed that she didn't end up as Cecile and that things are harder for her to that things are harder for her to manipulate than she thought. it she didn't make it that easy in that world, but at the same time getting to see it firsthand was just like mind blowing to her, and she absolutely adores it. And of course, the way she was describing this story to me, um, when it went to her side of the story, when you first meet the scientists trying to kill the Empress, and um, she kind of states that Cecile was a villain and that there was a true villain that's supposed to try to get rid of her because she has an obsession with the Emperor or something like that. Anyway, I gotta go and check out my food. So I hope you have a beautiful morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is for you, and I'll see you guys later.